Good morning. Miss Peppy 00 subbed for 23 months. Thank you very much. How's everyone doing this morning? Still getting a couple things set up, so that's why I'm not as chatty as I normally am. Guys, my coworker's trying to drink out of the same drink as me. Should I let her? I feel like it's kind of gross.
Coming up on 3 years of publicly drinking out of the same drinks.
I don't want to ever publicly drink out of the same drinks, honestly. It's not the kind of life I want to live.
My friend Colleen sent me her time hop. Only person I know that like actively uses time hop still every single day.
Yeah.
And it was her time hop of 3 years ago when I FaceTimed her to tell her. So heads up, Anthony and I are dating and we're about to tell the world in like 4 days. And it's just her face is just in shock. And then her and Sam watched the Twitch stream together and filmed themselves screaming and jumping up and down.
Lisa said she tries to view her time hop every day. Time hop is a separate app, right? Or is it built into Facebook?
I think it was a separate app, and now I think Facebook owns it, maybe. I look at my Facebook memories now that I'm like really into the Facebook.
Lisa said it's a separate app. Because I know that like Google Photos now will give you highlights or like this day
That's
a year
what I
ago.
look at, yeah.
It's the same type of thing. Tacoma Swifty. Good morning.
Oh, Twitter. I don't need to know what else Twitter.
I actually go through Twitter every now and then and delete old tweets because a lot of them they're so in the moment. Like if I'm watching a sports game match, you know, a sports game match.
One of my favorite tweets that I discovered or rediscovered a few years ago was me talking about something my now 18-year-old nephew said to me when he was 3 or 4. And I went over to their house and he pointed at me and said, "It's your vagina's birthday. Happy birthday to your vagina." And I was like, what? And I guess he just learned the word and like I don't know if he knew what it was, knew it was like a private part or whatever.
That's funny.
And I refound that tweet. I was dying. It was not my vagina's birthday.
Oh, we have a what's trending style question, Carla Marie.
Oh.
It's from Jill Beans. It says, is there truly a carry-on bag that you can pack a lot of outfits in and travel for a week in the summer with it? I'll just go with a duffel.
I keep getting ads.
Hold that actually, 10 seconds.
Oh, what is it?
We'll jump into it in a second.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning. After a lot of tinkering, we are no longer purple. We were a little purple yesterday.
Yeah.
Because on Friday, we moved some stuff, the camera and stuff, out from this studio into that area.
Yeah.
And then changed all the settings, and then we moved it back in.
We were also purple because the Tooth Fairy came yesterday and sprinkled us with her fairy dust.
Yes, that's very true. But good morning. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
And this is the show. You are the show, so thank you very much for being here. Now, when the countdown was going on, there was a question that I feel like falls right into your wheelhouse, Carla Marie, because you are the What's Trending queen. Jill Bean said, is there truly a carry-on bag that you can pack a lot of outfits in and travel for a week in the summer with it?
So I will say that, like, just a regular carry-on, like you said, a wheeling bag.
I think a duffel.
Bag?
A duffel fits so much.
It does, but if, like, you're talking overhead carry-on, not under the seat carry-on, like my away luggage, like whatever the max size you can use for that is great, especially in the summer because our clothes are so much smaller. But I keep getting ads, and now that we're talking about luggages, I will also get this ad, luggage, carry-on, just in case, because I've never saved it, and I'll send it to you. Jill, I think it's got like layers, and you can use it, like you vacuum it so that it like seals.
Oh, I've seen those. But the problem with those bags.
What do I do when I get to the hotel and they don't have a vacuum?
It's not even that, because some of them have like a tiny
Hose?
vacuum type of thing you can use. The problem with those bags, so the ones that vacuum down or vacuum seal in, the space saving ones, or like there's the one that kind of turns into a closet.
That's what Jill just mentioned now. It's called the Jenny bag.
The problem with those, though, is if you have to take something out at security.
Best of luck.
Right? Like then you're unpacking everything instead of just opening a bag.
Okay,
so you got to be real careful if you do pack one of those.
So if you have TSA pre-check, you don't have to take out your toiletries at security.
No, but sometimes if your bag goes through and they flag something, regardless of if you have TSA pre-check or not, they might make you take it out.
Right. Things they flag, podcasts, microphones,
mic
wires,
stands,
mic stands.
Arabic people.
And
Me.
my massage ball. Looks like, I guess, a grenade.
Oh, I could see that.
It's a lacrosse
But
ball.
you've got to imagine that kids are traveling with sports balls, you know?
What they'd be like, it just looks like a...
Tennis balls, racket balls, I mean, how many old people are traveling around with pickleballs
But
now?
that's way different than a dense lacrosse ball.
Let's see. I'm not a fan of vacuum seal packing because everything gets wrinkled, and I don't iron. I also don't iron, Martha. Ironing is the worst.
When we were in Florida, we had to go to Target and buy an iron for my dad's one pair of shorts that I...
Did he end up using it?
Yeah, I returned the iron.
I was going to iron a pair of shorts in Florida, and then I said, I'm just going to go out. If it's hot enough where eventually the wrinkles will come out.
Humidity, yeah.
I also feel like wrinkle-free clothing is just a scam.
Yeah, the only thing that's wrinkle-free is like leggings.
But like everything I get from Fabletics, it'll say, oh, wrinkle-free pants or wrinkle-free shorts. And they still wrinkle. It's nonsense. But let's get to the list today, Carla Marie. We've got walkathon tones. We'll talk about that very quickly. Habibi Salon on Facebook. Set lists before concerts. Costa Rica update. And Chef Joel Gamaran is on with us on Thursday.
Yes.
That's going to be a lot of fun. He's going to be the second half of the show. And we never really talked about this.
It was a mix of a PR issue here at the Carla Marie and Anthony show.
No, I'm not taking the blame for that whatsoever. Absolutely not. And I'm going to talk to Joel and his TV producers about this. So Joel is based here in Seattle.
Yeah.
And there's a cookbook that Carla Marie, you even talked about on the Morning Show podcast months ago.
Yes. Cooking Scrappy?
Cooking with Scraps?
No, it's Cooking Scrappy, I believe it's called.
Well, while Carla Marie looks it up, I'll explain what happened. We were invited to be guests on his cooking show, which is taped in front of a live audience here in Seattle. And he does live cooking shows online as well, but this was a full-on TV production for PBS.
And by the way, how they found us is crazy. So let's go back a little bit because this is such a fun story. It was during the writer's strike. A lot of the producers for these late night shows just didn't have jobs. And one of Jimmy Fallon's producers emails us and is like, hey, I'm working on a PBS show right now. Would love to talk to you guys to see if you'd be great guests. So we get on with him. We're talking. We're like, how did you find us? Like thinking Jimmy Fallon, Elvis, whatever.
I also want to point out, this is the second time since I've known Carla Marie that TV producers emailed us and Carla Marie ignored their email.
I think it's fake.
Because she thought it was a scam. And I had to then go back and say, hey, I thought we had an email from a TV producer. She goes, yeah, I think I deleted it. And I said, well, go back into the deleted emails. And turns out it was real. The first time that happened was when we were invited to do Access TV's Firefly Festival. Carla Marie also thought that was fake and also almost missed out
It just seems
on
odd.
an opportunity. So we were emailed by these producers from Jimmy Fallon's show.
Yes. And
the reason, to back it up a second, not too much, but the reason the Jimmy Fallon Show producers emailed us was because due to the writer's strike, Jimmy Fallon's writers were off, so the show was off. But because PBS is a public station, they didn't have the same writer's strike laws or lockouts or anything, so people were able to take kind of freelance jobs for PBS shows, and that's what these producers were doing.
And I think it was actually...
Got to pay those bills, baby.
But I do think it was really great opportunity for something like PBS to get these, like, not that they don't normally have great producers, but to get these producers that are working on completely different shows, these huge late night shows, to just kind of get that creativity pumping through their other shows. So Brett from Jimmy Fallon Show reaches out to us. We get on a call with him, and I asked him, like, how did you find us? And he said, we Googled Seattle podcasters because we knew we wanted different guests, types of guests for each show.
And let's be very clear. Much like the Champions of Change basketball game that I'm going to be playing in 2 weeks, the rest of these guests are all legitimate guests, right? Like Kathy Lee was a guest. Reggie Bush was a guest.
Yeah.
Like NFL and NCAA legend, Heisman Trophy winner Reggie Bush was a guest. And us.
So I'll be posting a video clip tomorrow of our show. But anyway, so I say, how did you find us?
Yeah.
And they say they Googled Seattle podcasters, and a Seattle Times article about the two of you dating came up. And I was like, what?
Thank God for that article.
I know. And it's funny. It makes you start realizing how important SEO is. That's the whole, like, back end of, like,
search engine optimization.
Yes. So they liked us, and we ended up filming last fall. We filmed a live episode, and we made a cake. And it was just really, really cool.
Joel is a great host. I feel like if you've ever watched any of the cooking shows, like the ones that are not on Food Network, because didn't Rachel Ray have one for a while? Maybe she still does. Yeah. Where they cook and they talk to their guests. He's, out of the ones I've watched, and it's not like it's my favorite genre of show.
Right.
He's the best.
Yeah, and he does a really good job at explaining things and making you care.
Yeah.
But the show aired already.
And this is where I have my problem. This is where I'm going to talk to Joel. It's not Joel's decision, obviously. It's really just how PBS works. PBS.
Can we talk about the back end here?
Well, PBS is owned by a bunch of it's a bunch of locally operated stations that are under this one big umbrella.
Okay, but I think we should be like, hey guys, we're filming this show. Talk about it here. Talk about it on Instagram. And I don't know why I listened, because this is my wing, my department of the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. I handle all PR, social media, web. Unless
it's about getting on TV, and then we'd never be on it.
And Anthony says, no, we got to wait till the episode airs. I'm like, well, that's weird, because we should be, teasing it, like gearing up that we're doing this. Like, let's show behind the scenes while we're here. And he's like, no. And for some reason I listened.
Well, can I explain myself?
Okay.
The reason I said that was we knew when we would be filming. So this was right before Thanksgiving of this past year, right? November 2023, we filmed.
Yeah. Sure.
They didn't know yet when the show was going to air. So what I didn't want to do is say, hey, we're filming this thing, and not be able to send anyone anywhere or give anyone a date to watch. But then we learned.
Can I just play devil's advocate for a second?
Yeah, of course.
If in November we said, hey, we're going to be on episode December 18th, no one's putting that in their calendars.
But that's why I would have waited till
But even if we did know, no one's going to remember. You have to tell people things 8,000 times. Have you ever listened to a radio commercial?
And I would have told our people every day leading up to it. The problem is, even when they knew when the season would air, they didn't know what order the episodes were going to be in. On every independent PBS station across the country, because outside of their gigantic programs, their cartoons
Reading
in the
Rainbow.
morning. Yeah, their cartoons in the morning. And then is it Christine Ananamapur? Whatever her name is. She's got a lot of letters in her name.
Christiane
How do you say her
I love
name?
her. Christiane Amanpour.
PBS.
I don't know. She has a show on PBS. Okay.
There we go. I just put a bunch of letters.
Christiane Amanpour. I told you
Amanpour. Yeah. Her show is the same time every day across all the stations.
Okay.
But outside of the main shows, those stations and their programmers are allowed to kind of piece together their schedule.
In every city.
In every single city. Some of them might choose to pick it up. Some of them might not.
One would think that we should have promoted this by saying,
in hindsight,
hey,
yes.
In Carla Marie's site, yes. We should have said,
because you didn't know all this.
Hey, we're going to be on this show. Check your local listings. And we could have been like posting different things, photos. Like we have all this content behind the scenes that.
But we can do that now, leading up to Joel coming in here on Thursday. What's more important, his show or our show? Carla Marie?
His.
Yes, but.
However, you can watch the episodes. There's I think it's Parade Magazine. They're online. And.
What the fuck is Parade Magazine?
Come on.
Parade Magazine?
If you are traveling on an Alaska Airlines flight, you can actually watch our episode on your flight. So that's actually really cool.
Parade Magazine.
I think it's in there. I'm not sure.
You know what? We'll find out from Joel when he's here.
He got picked up for season 2. I think I'm supposed to say that.
What? Were you mumbling?
There's a season 2.
Okay, good for him. And I'm sure he'll talk all about it when he's here. I feel like we spent a lot of time talking about that.
Well, no, I really wanted to explain the backstory because I'm going to be honest with you. This has been driving me nuts for 8 months that I listened to you when it came to any sort of social media promotion.
Please, you've listened to me plenty of times and it has worked.
When it comes to audio.
No, that's not true. Mm-hmm. How many times have I given you an idea for a video and it's worked really well? How many? Oh, hold on, Carla Marie. Why don't you? No. Give me this drink. Why don't you open up your Instagram? Carla Marie. Why don't you open up that Grammy-gram?
Okay.
Okay, now go to your reels.
Claire said we can only watch the episodes now if we're on a flight.
Go to your reels.
Yeah.
Actually, no, go to your insights.
No, just tell me what.
No, go see which of your most viewed reels are.
I don't know how to find that at this moment in time. What do you think it is?
Maybe the 2.5 million views per video I got on your reels.
Because you were making fun of me?
5 million total views in 2 videos because of the social media expert.
Well, there it is, parade.com, Homemade Live, episode 10.
There we go.
Go watch it.
And that whole thing is live? Let's see.
I'll kill you.
What?
Because I'm so mad about it that I was literally talking to our friend Amy from Seattle Cocktail Club the other day, and I was like, one of my biggest regrets, although I don't have regrets in life, is that I listened to Anthony when it came to promoting the show.
I'm going to stop you there. People who say they don't have regrets in life.
You just watched this in a video.
What are you
Who
talking
just
about?
said this to us?
I say it all the time. They're psychopaths.
No, wait. Someone literally just said it. In a
Me,
video.
I just said it.
No, it was like a major interview.
I don't know.
Frank Turner. That was the major interview I was talking about. He said word
but
for word.
I've said that way before Frank. Because it's okay to have a regret. It means you made a decision and you matured since that decision.
But I think that regret, I look at it like, it was something I did and I own up to it.
Yeah, but sometimes you do, not you, everyone.
Like
sometimes you do shitty things.
There's nothing that I'm like, I wish I could take that back.
I would 100% take things back. You've never said something to someone that you wouldn't take back?
That's different. That's not a regret. That's just... But actually, no.
Am I on crazy pills?
Yes.
Let me just approve. Oh, look at that. I'm going to share this on the screen real quick. Let's go to the center cam. And then bring in...
Why do I even wear cool shirts to the show? Not that this is like a cool shirt. But like, you don't know what it is.
It's a Taylor Swift shirt.
I need a shorter screen here.
Okay.
I would like it to be a tiny rectangle.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Or
there we are. That's a freeze. Look, that's a good freeze frame, too.
Of whom?
Me. The most important person in the shot. Memories with Carla Marie and Anthony. What do we even make? We made a good cake, right? Lemon bars.
We didn't make lemon bars.
Ice cream fluff cake.
The cake head. We made our own marshmallow.
And a bourbon milkshake. Good times. Everything was very good. And I will say that shirt, I had reached out to Steve at the Roosevelt, And, we always talk about how much we love our community here. And the Roosevelts also have an amazing community. And I said, hey, we're going to be on this cooking show. What cooking-inspired shirts do you have?
Because I know they had Ratatouille for a bit.
They did. And he sent me to their website. I picked out a couple and said, oh, we don't have those in stock. Let me reach out to the community and see if anyone wants to send you theirs. And he sent me two. He sent me the one that I ended up wearing on the show and a Ratatouille one.
Do you still have them?
Yeah. And
are they somebody's shirts you got to give back?
And I asked Steve at the time. I said, well, I'll pay for them. I'll send them back. I just need them for a day. I'm not even going to wear both of them, obviously. He said, don't worry. I told them they can have whatever they want from the website. And the community came together. He literally just posted it in their Facebook group, probably.
We got to put that photo in the Facebook group then and be like, hey, whoever,
yeah,
because we don't know who it is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think I saved both of the envelopes, though, because I have the people's names.
Because they sent directly to us?
Yeah. So that was the one I wore, though.
Was that the s'mores?
That was the s'mores one, the campfire and s'mores. Got a lot of compliments from the entire crew.
And it's funny that we didn't know we were making marshmallows.
Yeah. It just happened to be s'mores. Okay, let's get back to the list since we haven't done anything yet. Walkathon tones. Yesterday I lived the no car life, and it was pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. So Carla Marie needed to take the car to, where'd you go? VMAC?
Seahawks, yeah.
Yeah, so the Seahawks Media Day to film a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff. And originally, it was kind of raining. And I was like, I'm not going to take out the bike and then deal with the rain. So I'm just going to walk from home to the gym and then back. Not bad. It's like a mile each way, a little less. Did that. And then I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to walk to the studio now. And that's about a mile and a half each way. So I walked to the studio.
That's it?
Yeah. It's almost exactly 1.5.
Up a hill.
And then I did a bunch of work here, recorded all of my stuff, got some things fixed in the studio. And then around 7 o'clock at night, walked all the way back. I ended up walking, all in all, according to my smartwatch, I think I walked about 6.5 miles.
You know what's crazy, though? I think about when we were kids and we would walk everywhere.
Yeah.
We were probably clocking full marathons.
Probably. And I think I want to start encouraging myself, at least, to just walk a little bit more.
Yeah, so I've been going on walks on weekend mornings.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, I would love, in a perfect world, to do it even before our show on weekdays, but just my sleep schedule has not been doing that.
AKA, you don't wake up early enough.
AKA, I've been going to bed too late, and I've been getting ran over by cats all night. So I don't, in a perfect world, I get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. I've been getting 6.
9?
Do you know that women need 9 hours of sleep?
Because you're lazy?
No, because our hormones.
Okay.
Science. Anyway, so I'm not getting enough sleep. I'm just not going to bed on time, so I can't wake up early enough. But on the weekends, I've been waking up and doing this walk, and it's been so nice to I have no headphones. I have them with me just in case, but just walking around, looking around what's around me, but looking at what's around me, but also at the same time, taking out my phone and as I'm walking, getting things done that I need to get done, which is great that we can do that while being outside and whatever. So
I try to do the opposite. I try to just enjoy music, a podcast, or nothing while I walk, just to let myself zone out. But I will, if a thought pops in my head, I'll grab my to-do list, I'll put it there, and that way when I sit down, I now know, oh, these are all the things that I remembered I had to do when I was walking, knock them all out.
The reason I say that I can get things done is because I'm not scrolling when I'm walking.
Yeah.
That is the one thing that I'll be I need to focus on the task that I'm doing. Where if I'm at my desk and I get dragged into Instagram, I'll start scrolling. But if I'm walking, I'm not. There's no way my body lets me just scroll on Instagram as I'm walking. So I'll be literally answering emails, doing things which I cannot get done when I'm sitting in a spot, apparently. It's been nice.
There was I guess it was over the weekend. I was driving or walking it towards an intersection. And there was a kid walking in the opposite direction, so towards me. And I watched this kid stare at their phone.
Oh, was it the kid with the long hair?
Yeah, the whole way through an intersection. Literally walked through the intersection with their head down the whole time. And I'm I know for a fact, actually, adults are also guilty of this. So this isn't the fact that it was a child that just happens to be who it was.
I saw that kid walking yesterday, not doing that through the crosswalk.
Well, that's
I'm going to
good.
say something if they do it again.
The amount of adults I've also seen do that, walking through intersections, staring at their phone, is wild. Like, we need to go back, kind of like we talked about yesterday with the Tooth Fairy, that second grade class where they teach you as a group how to cross the street. I think we're given maybe too much responsibility to parents to teach their kids how to cross the street. Maybe it needs to be a classroom activity.
Also, kids don't listen to their parents. I think that kid is more likely to listen to me, a stranger, if I tell him to head up in the crosswalk.
Probably.
But am I going to get in trouble again for talking to kids?
If you just said, like, pick your head up when you cross the street, no. But if you're like, hey, kid, what's your name? Where do you live? You'd probably get in trouble for that. That's weird. Oh, Scotty just said guilty, almost got hit. Yeah, you can't, you got to pick that head up while you're walking. Real quick, we do have to take a break because I have snoozed our break 3 times already.
Really?
So
Why
we will.
is it so annoying?
Well, it's 8:30. We're supposed to take it about 5 minutes ago, at the latest, so that we're back at 8:30. Anyway, we're gonna take this break. If you are a subscriber, enjoy playing the words on screen game. If not, please watch the ad because that's the only way we get paid. Okay, I believe the ad break is over. Let me double check. Okay. Oh, wait, ad in progress. 40 seconds left. I'm not going to start another game with 35 seconds left.
Someone, this woman I don't follow, but she is an Instagram, she's a content creator, I guess. Bunch of people, like 10 tags I have because she posted about getting rid of her implants.
Like she is getting rid of them?
She wants to.
Okay.
And I have 10 comments that are like, you need to follow at the Carla Marie.
Hit her up, invite her to the podcast.
I did. Just did. Really cool.
Oh, can I tell you about a DM that I sent yesterday to a stranger?
Yes. How much time do we have left, though?
We'll do it when we get back. Okay. So, welcome back to the show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
And while we were playing that break, Carla Marie mentioned that you DM'd some influencer, right? Some creator, because she talked about getting her boobs taken out, her fake boobs, and you want to invite her on the podcast.
Yes.
So there is this creator on Instagram that I've been following now for 2 or 3 months.
Who?
He's a guy, he's got like 250,000 followers on Instagram, and he is documenting almost every single day of his trip from Egypt to Japan, but not flying.
It's cool.
So he has been taking buses and trains and people like hitchhiking. He's gone from Egypt to Japan, and I didn't think it would be, because he's on like day 121 now. I didn't think it would take him this long, but apparently, because of the way he's traveling, it's not a direct route. I mean, if you watch him on Instagram, his map is all over the place. And then certain countries didn't let him in, like Turkmenistan, I guess, has some of the strictest border laws in the world, and he couldn't get in.
Oh my God.
Even though he got to the border, had all the paperwork, they just decided, no, we're not letting you in today. So he has been documenting the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized he is at the edge right now of Uzbekistan, I believe, which looked like a beautiful, I never would have thought that I would have wanted to visit
Really?
Uzbekistan. It looks gorgeous.
I want to see.
Yeah. It gets very hot there. But other than that, it looks gorgeous. And I'll give you his Instagram in a second, if I can find my phone. You know where my phone is?
I haven't seen it.
I'll share it on my Instagram, my story later, at Worst Anthony. But I realized there's a chance that he's going to be in Japan when I'm in Japan.
Okay.
Because he still has, 2.5 weeks
I don't know how long it
to
takes
get from
Uzbekistan.
Central Asia, where the edge.
Uzbekistan is in Asia?
Central Asia, yes. The Asian steppe is what most people would call it.
Okay.
So he's got to get across, depending on his route, Mongolia, China. You have your map in front of you.
Oh.
Why don't you use that? Why don't you tell me what countries he has to get through?
So you can see this is a map.
Yeah.
Wait, where did he go?
He is currently at the edge of Uzbekistan.
Well, I don't know that the map has that.
I promise you it does. It would be right under here somewhere.
So I can move this?
Yeah. Whatever. It's fine.
I turned everything off.
I'm still good here. We're good. Don't worry about it.
Well, I see a Kazakhstan.
Okay.
Uzbekistan. It's on here.
There you go. So what does he have to go through now to get to Japan?
Where the hell's Japan?
If you're looking at China, it's to the right.
I don't think this map has Japan. Oh, Japan.
I don't think this map has Japan.
Okay, so he's got to get to. Is he going to go? Well, where's he going?
Well, tell us some of the options.
Why would they name them all Stan? Why couldn't you just
Stan
said
means-
Kazakh, Uzbek, Kyrgyz?
Because I believe in whatever language they speak, I believe Stan just means land.
So what? They could have just called it Kazakh, Uzbek, Turkmen. That would have been better.
Maybe.
Okay. So Uzbekistan.
But why don't we call it green or ice?
I should have.
Same idea.
Okay, so he can go to Tajikistan.
Okay.
Or Kyrgyzstan.
Okay.
Then to China. And that seems like it's going to take a while.
China's a big country.
But I bet they have a train.
They do. And then he could go, I guess.
Oh, well, North Korea.
Well, he's not going to go through North Korea.
Is he going to take a boat then?
You could, yeah, because I know you could take a ferry from South Korea to Japan. It's like a 2 or 3 hour ferry.
Okay, so he can either go, if there's a ferry, he could take a ferry from Shanghai to South Korea, then to Japan, or Shanghai to Japan. Like maybe there's a cruise line.
Maybe.
Or he can go China, Mongolia, Yakistuk.
Is that part of Russia?
Yakistuk? Yeah, he probably doesn't want to go there, and then to Japan. Wow, it's crazy how close Japan is to Russia.
But I DM'd him yesterday.
Maybe you can pick him up.
Well, when I realized there's a possibility we could be in Japan at the same time, I said, "Hey, I'm going to be in Japan the first week of July. I've really enjoyed following your journey.
Where did this get? Okay.
If we happen to be there at the same time and obviously in the same city, I would love to buy you lunch."
Oh my God,
We'll see what happens.
that's cool.
We'll see what
Did he
happens.
respond?
This was last night, and with the time difference, he'll probably get it like right now.
Well, that time zone is not on here. But where's Egypt?
Egypt, look at the top right of Africa.
Oh, wow.
It's far.
So how did he get?
Well, the best part is, Carla Marie, he documented the whole thing, so you can see how he got from one country to the next. And it's cool because there are times where he'll say, I was going to leave Uzbekistan today, but then these people in the hostel that I'm staying at told me there was a music festival in the desert. So he would go out there.
I would love that life, but I can't take 4 cats with me.
No, you can't.
How
And he's
hard
been
would it
gone now for, like I said, 120 days.
Gone from, where's he from?
Egypt.
Oh, he's from Egypt.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's, as far as I know, he is Egyptian. He started his trip in Egypt.
So is he doing the whole globe? Like, is he going to come back around? Or is he just going to fly back?
I don't know how many followers he had before he started this journey. But I would assume that some travel company would sponsor another trip of his if he knows how to kind of work the system with social media. Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you give him good luggage or something and say, hey, we'll give you good luggage, and obviously the whole thing is you're not flying, but we'll maybe pay for your accommodations wherever you happen to stay, as long as you keep it kind of within the same realm. Because no one wants to watch this guy do it in luxury, right? The fact that he's taking public taxis and shared cars and hitchhiking across and documenting the whole thing every day.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I really want to know how he's getting to Japan, because that whole North Korea thing is going to be an issue.
Yeah, but South Korea also exists.
Yeah, but he could just go bloop, bloop. But he can't.
Yeah, he can't. But that's also one of the things that you start to discover as he does while he's traveling around the country. Some borders are just completely shut down.
I can't believe you're going to be that close to Russia.
Yeah, Japan's right there.
But also so is Alaska, which is crazy because this map is flat. And they're on different parts of the map.
Yes. That's one of the things you always have
How can you think the Earth is flat? If Russia's here and here.
I don't know. You know what I did realize, though? I realized this yesterday because Apple came out, like you mentioned in the Morning Show podcast, with all their updates to iOS 18. And I follow, I think it's Verge, which is like a electronics and digital kind of publication. And it came up on my Instagram Reels feed, and it was a video that I swear I thought was a parody because the guy kind of looked weird, and he was talking about how on Apple phones now, on iPhones, you'll be able to customize your wallpaper and customize your apps and things like that.
We have been able to do that.
And no, that was the whole announcement yesterday.
But we have been able to customize our apps to make them look like what we want.
But now you can like color coordinate them. That was the whole thing. You could color coordinate your app icons, which normally only works if they are native to the operating system. So like with Google, and I think it'll be with Apple too, the most popular apps and the ones that are developed by iPhone, you'll be able to kind of adjust the colors of those apps. Some of the more obscure apps you won't be able to do because they have to build that in. But anyway, he's talking about all this thing. Oh, you can move your app to the bottom of the screen so that you can look at the picture of your wallpaper better. I'm like, this has to be a parody. Because, and I'm not trying to be that Android person, but we've been able to do that for, I think, at least 3 years. I think when I was in my old apartment, I was able to do that with my phone.
But the difference is,
What is the difference?
you still have an Android.
Yes. But this is what I realized yesterday, because I went into our Content Kittens chat. I said, guys, I really thought this video, I shared the one that I saw. I said, I thought this video was a parody because of how old this technology is on my phone. And then there was the tap back feature where you can use any emoji.
But we have been doing that. I don't know why this is what I don't understand about the iOS 18 updates. Some of them I was like, bro, I've been doing that.
Yeah. And then the other thing, there was another feature. And there are some features that were new to iPhone, and I don't even think we have them on Android yet.
I'm so excited for Siri to just be a rainbow around my screen.
Was so stupid.
I'm
anyway.
so excited because you know what? There are going to be so many people that are like, I don't want a rainbow on my screen.
Well, isn't it still a rainbow around the island? Like there's the island on the new iPhones on the top of the phone.
It's blue. Everything's blue.
Oh, it is. Anyway, I realized what it was like when I put that into the chat with all iPhone users. And everyone's like, oh my God, this is so cool. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares that Android had it first? We have it now. It's got to be what astronomers feel like when they talk to flat earthers. The astronomers would be the Android people in this scenario where we go, we know this is how it works. This is how phones are supposed to work. And then the iPhone users are like, ooh, we're cavemen. Blue bubbles. And you're like, what is wrong with you?
That's not a good comparison.
Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, because you feel Android users end up feeling like crazy people when iPhone users get excited about things that we've been doing for years. Like the technology exists.
I'm sure.
Apple's just a lazy company now.
But there are so many more perks
to
having Apple everything.
Like what?
Between the watch, the phone, iPad, computer, all of it works seamlessly for me. Where we have this computer here, you have that other computer at home, you have your watch and your phone, and I'm sure the watch and the phone work together because are they both Google?
Yeah.
That's great.
They work together great.
But I can easily just, like, things are just the same operating system. Everything blends nice. It flows nice. It looks better. I like this whole screen here. It's, like, weird.
What is weird
like
about
the
it?
home screen is like...
But the reason this screen is weird to you is because it is more customizable than your Apple computer. And that's the reason we need this screen, is because we need to do a lot of different things that we probably could not do.
But I don't understand what, like, on my Mac, I can change my background. I can change the way the icons look. I can change, like, what else do I need to do? I can move things.
No. There are programs that we need to stream this show that we cannot use, or they are much harder to use on a Mac. Because a Mac doesn't allow you to customize certain things that you need.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Exactly. So for people who actually need to do things with their devices, Apple products aren't great.
You know how this is why I know it's completely wrong. Because our friend Jeff.
What's completely wrong?
Your theory. Our friend Jeff, 2.0 Jeff. So our radio friend engineer, Jeff.
Wow. You're going with the old Jeff instead of the new Jeff.
Actually, I think Jeff 1 and 2. I'm not sure where Jeff 1 stands on this. They're radio engineers. Yes. Some of the smartest people we know. They love PCs. They know the ins and outs of PCs. They can climb a radio tower and connect things. They can do all the things.
Okay.
But he says iPhone hands down over Android.
But he doesn't use Apple for anything else. It's just his phone.
That's fine.
And what you have to remember when you're using terms like 1.0 and 2.0 and 3.0 is you're upgrading every time. And currently, Jeff 3.0.
Jeff 1.0 also has an Android because I just saw the ugly-ass green bubble when I went to his name.
Anyway, I did not mean to get on the whole Apple Android
I'm sure
thing.
It sucked being inferior all this time.
No.
And you're just...
But that's the thing. That's the crazy part, is that we are gaslit into feeling like we have an inferior product when in reality we have a superior product. And the inferior product people are just stuck in their ways.
When I touch another iPhone now, it's been doing this for a while, but when you touch another iPhone to share contact information, it feels like an Avenger going through a bubble, and it's like, so fun. Okay. Yours doesn't do that.
I also, one of my favorite arguments that Apple people will try to hit me with is they'll go, yeah, but you can't FaceTime. And I go, I promise you.
You can, though.
I promise you. First off, I don't want to. One of the reasons I will never get an iPhone is because I do not want people FaceTiming me. You don't have to answer the call. Yeah, but once it's there and people know you have it, why don't you pick up my FaceTime? Why don't you pick up my FaceTime?
No one does that.
I literally hear your family do that to you.
No normal people do that.
Okay.
But you can FaceTime because we've done group FaceTimes.
But it has to be initiated by an iPhone person.
I don't know. Hit it.
I don't know. I actually have no idea where my phone is.
Can't find it because if you had an Apple Watch, you could ding it.
Oh.
Ding it.
Wait a second.
Where is it? It would just make my life so much easier.
Oh, it's right here. Good thing I have that seamless connection between...
That you didn't even know you had until I just...
No, I knew I did. I just didn't feel like it was necessary. So, I could give you the guy's Instagram account now. And I'll read you the exact message I wrote to him. My love letter. Here we go. Man, I send a lot of DMs. His name is...
To dudes on the internet? It's Pride Month. You can come out if you want.
Omar.nok. Omar.nok is his Instagram. 283,000 followers. And currently, he is on day 100.
Oh, he was following me.
Day 121, part 1. He is currently crossing from Uzbekistan to Kazakhstan.
But how's he going to get to Japan?
You're going to have to follow along and watch it. So my message to him was, I will be in Japan the first week in July. If we are there at the same time and in the same city, of course, I would love to buy you lunch. I've really enjoyed following your journey and have learned a lot. Safe travels.
And nothing, has he seen it? Is it on Reddit?
It just says invite sent. So I'm probably in like a crazy folder. He's probably never going to see it.
Nope.
But like, what if I run into him?
But now you can never message him again.
That's fine.
Annoying.
Why do I need to message him again?
Because if there's something else you want to tell him.
This is the only thing I want to tell him. If this doesn't make it through, I don't need to talk to him again.
How do I get that setting? Because I have crazy people in my DMs that will just keep sending me all these things.
Oh, I don't know.
I
don't really know how to do anything, honestly. So, okay. Moving on, Carla Marie. We haven't even gotten to most of the list today.
Yes, we have.
We have? Let's see. The Habibi Salon on Facebook.
That's quick.
Go for it.
I often talk about the breast implant illness Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in that Facebook group for probably, 6 years at that point, maybe longer. I don't remember.
At what point?
6 at this point.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember how many women were in there then, but since starting this podcast, I've watched it grow by about 20,000. Not because of me, just because I'm seeing whatever. I do know that there's a lot of people that follow the podcast, whatever they are in there now. I see them. That's great.
Oh, I have friends that have told me they're in that group now because of you talking about
It's so cool watching the number, but just seeing more women become aware. It's close to 200,000 women now. Mm-hmm. And last week, I'm getting all these notifications on Facebook that people are tagging me in the group. And I'm like, what is going on? What happened? I go in there, and on another post, I don't know if it was mine or not, people are commenting, and someone goes, oh, I saw your Habibi Salon video, to someone else. And there was someone, I don't think they followed us before, but she had posted on her Instagram that she just got an explant this week, and her husband was doing her hair, and she was calling it the Habibi Salon.
That's
amazing. I found her on Instagram. We contacted, whatever. So it was, she had commented on something on Facebook. Someone else said, oh, I saw your, and then someone else said, oh, I can't wait to get my hair done. I'm going to do the Habibi Salon. These are all people I don't really know.
Habibi Salon
except
taking
for,
over.
One person.
Should I open a salon?
Well, I had...
Because I don't really have to do hair. I can hire people that know how to do hair, right?
So Lorelai, who we mentioned
yes
on the last episode of my breast explant journey, who we got to meet when we were in Florida, she explants on Thursday. She told me yesterday that she was telling her husband about the Habibi Salon and how, showing him some videos. And he's like, I'm so excited to mess with your hair because there's nothing you can do about it. So I said, I'm so glad that the Habibi Salon is a new employee.
It's taken off.
But it is, Angela, like Angela said, it is franchising. And there are random people in this Facebook group talking about it. And it's bizarre to see.
I need $17 per mention. That's my franchising fee. Okay. $17 per mention. And after the first mention, it drops down because that's like an initiation fee. It'll drop down to $3 per mention.
Okay. This is an MLM now.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you're marketing, using the Habibi Salon marketing to your advantage, you can send those at Worst Anthony is Venmo. We operate entirely through Venmo. So hand it over. Fork it over. Dollar bills, y'all.
Okay.
That is pretty cool, though. It's funny how random things can catch on like that.
It's funny. Someone else said it to me, or no, someone tagged. We got tagged in something from the Carla Marie Anthony fans that someone was posting about it.
I've seen a couple people tag me or message me and saying, even outside of breast explant surgery, injuries, kids, whatever, they're using the Habibi Salon.
Well,
so
I haven't
enjoy.
had to go to the Habibi Salon in a bit. I've been flipping
you could
my
use
hair.
it, honestly.
I've been flipping my hair upside down at night, doing my bun.
I can
and
tell.
I've been
I can tell you haven't had an appointment in a while, sweetie.
It's actually super easy to beach wave. I mean, I can go to here now, so I can get to the top of my head. But I did film a video of teaching Anthony how to beach wave my hair pre-surgery, and I haven't edited it yet because it's 26 minutes long. And the idea of sitting down and editing a 26-minute video,
it's my life.
It's insane.
Real quick, Melissa in Lancaster, PA said, hi, I have a meeting at 12. She's on the East Coast, obviously. Will you guys talk about Costa Rica before then? So let's jump into that really quick.
So actually, we are going to Costa Rica.
Yes.
It is a group trip. There are, I think there's 20 spots maybe.
20 to 24 spots available, but we only need 10 to make it work.
And the trip availability to reserve your spot, which is just a deposit, not the full amount of money, starts on Thursday. So
this Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get to share that link on Thursday during the show. So nothing is going to happen today. So don't worry about.
And we have a call with the company that's hosting the whole thing later today. So that's when we finalize a couple extra details.
A lot of questions.
But the dates it's basically the last week of March into April.
It's a Wednesday to Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah. So based on my calculations, that would be.
But it's not, what you're going to say is probably not right. So
possibly March 26th to April 2nd.
I have it in here.
If it's a Wednesday to a Wednesday.
How do I find it?
And there is a way, so we'll get the final prices today, but I believe if you do the early bird special, so if you sign up like very close to the beginning, you get to save $400. So make sure if you're thinking about going or if you know you definitely want to go, make sure you buy it early because we want you to save as much money as humanly possible.
God, March 2025 is such a weird thing to see.
Did you look up the date?
It's going.
If you had an Android, it might be faster.
No, it's the internet. March 27th through April 2nd.
Okay, I was close. I said the 26th to the 7th or 2nd. So that would be a Thursday to a Wednesday, Carla Marie. You said a Wednesday to a Wednesday.
I think we get in on Wednesday.
That makes sense because we do have to go a day early. Have to. It's Costa Rica. We get to go a day early. So yeah, the 27th of March, 2025 to that following Wednesday, April 2nd. So those will be the dates. We'll have the final price but it'll be around, I think with the early bird special, it'll be around $2,500. Something along those lines. And then the only other thing you should be responsible for is your flight. So if you book early and you save the $400,
there's your flight.
Put that towards your flight, and you should probably be able to fly, especially if you're going from New York, New Jersey. I don't think it should be that expensive of a flight, especially if you're able to look from now and make sure you find the best price possible.
And just a reminder, if we don't get 10 people,
you get your money back.
Everyone gets their money back, and we don't go on the trip, and we work that week, and it's fine. So it'll be cool. But we will share the link in here on Thursday. I think prior to putting it on our social media.
Also, if you speak Spanish, please come on the trip because we don't. And I'm sure there's going to be guides and translators and everything. So it's all guided, but it'd be nice to have.
Martha, the deposit is not due Thursday. It's just the day it opens. And I think that people aren't going to, it's not like after the trips. I don't think that all 20 spots are going to fill up on Thursday.
We'll see.
Just by that. So
if people like saving money, it will. But we'll have all of the information on Thursday for sure.
Right. And Thursday isn't the last day to get the early bird price. No. There's a timing. We have a call today to fully grasp everything because, to be honest with you, the last time we had the call was a month ago. And
a lot has happened. Carla Marie lost her boobs.
Okay, that's aggressive.
Well, they're not lost. They're actually on the kitchen table. So we know exactly where they are now that I think about it. Speaking of which, where are you going to store those? When are they going to not be on the kitchen table?
I'm filming videos of surprising friends.
No, you're not. You haven't. Oh, you've done one.
No, I did 3 here. I got all of them.
Oh, okay.
So chill biscuit.
All right.
Also, Scotty, I saw a video. You really shouldn't drink on flights. Apparently, it's really bad.
Enjoy yourself, Scotty.
Are we talking about the set list thing?
Costa Rica update. We did that. We did Chef Joel. Habibi Salon is off the table. Walkathon Tones. Set list before concerts. Last thing on the list.
Okay. So there's a website called Setlist FM.
Oh, yeah.
That lets you see the set list of every show. Obviously, if you are a Taylor Swift fan, I didn't realize I wore this not on purpose, and went to the Eras tour.
If you're a Taylor Swift fan and you're going to the Eras tour, there's a good chance you have a spreadsheet and one of those serial killer graphs with the lines on it to figure out which secret song she's going to play.
There are Swifties who built apps that help you. This is what's so cool, kind of different than this, but there's someone who built an app. It's free. You can donate if you want to them creating it, but you sign up for alerts and it'll ping you, hey, she's going live now in whatever city, because it's so hard to keep track of all the time zones. And you can go watch. It's like, hey, go watch and here's where it is, streaming today or whatever.
Okay.
It's great. It's such a cool app. But going to the Eras Tour version 1, by the time I went, it was very near the end. And I knew when every song was going to hit. I knew when I had my chance to run to the bathroom in between each interlude, all this stuff. It was great. I didn't miss a single second of that woman on stage. It was amazing. But Roger, I don't know, Daltrey? I'm going to get his name right, but he's...
Daltrey?
No. He's in The Who.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Daltrey. He lost his mind in an interview about people that look up the set list before shows. And I don't disagree with him to an extent, but we just live in a different world where we have access to everything right now. And he's like, no one is surprised anymore. He's like, don't look up my set list before you come to my show.
But I would blame that on the artist, not on the audience.
Okay.
Because you can still, so Setlist FM is, what they do is it's open, not open source. It's a community-based thing where you can log on with an account and you can say, oh, I saw Motion City Soundtrack the first day of their tour. This is what their set list was. Okay. Then someone that goes to see them in the next city can log on and confirm, oh, I saw them in New York and they had all those same songs exactly as they were played. So as the tour progresses, you get more confirmation of what that set list is going to be, right? And then by the middle of the tour, it's almost an exact science. It is on the artist to switch it up.
Right, like Taylor did the surprise or secret song.
Exactly.
And that, every time, it's like you get that one nugget of what's it going to be.
And the rest of it is still very much rehearsed and systematic, right? Because you don't want, from an artist perspective, you do need a little bit of routine, right? Because while you're changing your location every day, the set stays the same, so you make sure you give your audience the best product possible. But all you have to do is put in 1 or 2 surprises, and it's a wildly different show.
He said, I'm fucking sick of it. And he also said, I want to get this quote, the internet's ruined the live shows for me. He continues, who wants to know what's coming next? People forget about surprises. I can't stand it. And then he says, when the interviewer suggests that having a set list at hand could be useful for fans who might need a bathroom break, the singer hits back with a laugh and says, quote, Why not just start to listen to the bloody show in the toilet then?
I mean, do I agree to an extent that people, even outside of setlist.fm and concerts, I do feel like we want to control so much now because we can control so much that, yes, the surprises and things like that are almost dead. But, because, like, I mean, I'll use my brother Michael, for example. Looks up every menu before he goes to a restaurant. I know friends who will read every single review of a movie before they go see it, right? People will watch on Twitch, on this platform specifically, watch new video games being played before they buy them themselves, right? And those are all fine, right? You're spending your money. You want to make sure you're spending it in the best way possible.
I think
but we do need to maybe relax a little bit.
So before I went to the Shania Twain concert, I looked up the set list and I just made all of it one playlist on Spotify because there were Shania songs that I didn't know. It made such a better experience, made the experience so much better for me because I knew the words and I could be involved and I was looking up the songs and getting the backstory on some of them. But I think we were her second or third stop.
Yeah.
So she did change up the set list by then. And I was like, whoa, I was not prepared for this. And it was fun. It was good that she did that. But I was like, I don't know the song, so I'm going to pee now. And it was good.
Oh, I was going to say, AMS06H said it's more enjoyable for me to know what songs they're playing so I can sing along. I've been seeing a lot of nostalgic acts lately, and I need to brush up on their older music. This is the one thing, because I don't use Setlist FM very often. What I will use it for, though, is if I am going to see a slightly more nostalgic band, maybe a pop punk band or an old school hip hop artist, if they have new stuff out as well, I will go to setlist.fm and see the ratio of new stuff to old stuff.
And then not go.
To figure out, like, okay, is this a show where they're trying to pump their new material, or are they also going to play a lot of the hits that everyone wants to see? Because sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you go to a show for one of your favorite artists from back in the day, and they're just playing new stuff, and you don't like it.
Yeah.
That is usually the only time I'll use setlist.fm.
Well, Lisa had a great comment. Bruce Springsteen changes his set list. Sorry. Bruce Springsteen changes his set every single night. You'll see some of the same songs, but you'll never know the whole set. And when you have an artist like that at this point, right, where he knows his songs, his band knows his songs, like, you can switch it up. And even if you mess up, you'll just go, like, if you're a guitarist, you're, oh, this is what we're doing, whatever. You know, you have it in front of you on a piece of paper at every show you're at, unless you're Taylor Swift, because there's nowhere to put a paper on that stage. But when you have a more of a production like Taylor show, you can't really switch things up night to night.
But you can have a spot where it switches up like she does.
And like she does. And she even switched up, like, version 2 of the Eras Tour is completely different.
And that is why she gets so much respect from people in the music industry.
Like Bruce Springsteen, actually, who went to a show.
But if you're someone like the dude from The Who and you're just sitting there complaining, well, it's up to you. You can switch it up and you can still surprise people. Yeah. That is quite literally, you're in control of that.
Like, I need to get to this next version of the Eras Tour, and the only reason I know that it's different is thanks to social media. I know he wasn't complaining about that, but social media showing me it's a different show. And the idea of, I saw it on Instagram, I don't need to go see it in real life. So, like, you feel it in your bones. Like, I get giddy thinking about being at the Eras Tour.
Well, Cheese Dot also brought up a good point. I was going to bring this up earlier. Or you could use Ed Sheeran's method, which technically Ed Sheeran will do most of the same songs. He will oftentimes bring out guests from the city he's in. Like in Detroit, he brought out Eminem. Here, he brought out Macklemore.
So much fun.
So that's obviously different. But nothing that he plays on stage, with the exception of maybe a handful of songs, is done to a track. He is producing it all live.
Wild.
So if he messes up, it's right there. So it is technically a different show every single night. If he has a band up there, it's a little different. But when he's up there on stage by himself, he's creating all the instrumentals live. It's actually wild to watch him work.
Yeah, he is one of those artists that is changing the way live shows just are.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the problems that The Who will run into, right? They came up in a different era.
Anna Marie said, how much of the Who's audience is using setlist.fm?
Apparently enough for him to complain.
It gave me very much Stephen Jenkins from Third Eye Blind vibes when I interviewed him and he lost his shit.
Yeah, that was at the Dunkin' Donuts Iced Coffee Lounge, correct?
And that was probably, I hear your stomach growling.
Yes, yeah, I'm pretty
10
hungry.
years ago at this point. Although what he said was not wrong.
Yes.
But he is just a maniac.
We're going to see him this Thursday.
What?
With Yellow Card. Yellow Card and Third Eye Blind are touring together, and they are in Seattle on Thursday.
We're going for sure.
Yeah.
I have an orthodontist appointment that afternoon.
Oh, better cancel all our plans. Oh, no.
What if I have to get like a palate expander?
That's your fault.
Okay.
That I am definitely going to go see Yellow Card and Third Eye Blind.
Should I wear my mastectomy pillow? Are
Carla
people
Marie.
going to rage? Are people going to push
I don't
me
know.
into a
Continue with your Third Eye Blind story, though.
Well, I've talked about him, but he went nuts and lost his mind in the Dunkin' Donuts Iced Coffee Lounge. It's just like this little room. It's smaller than where we had Frank Turner. And he's like, you know what? And I think he was yelling at someone in the audience, maybe. The audience of 8 people. And he was like, I am sick and tired of performing and seeing this.
So...
And he's not wrong, because if you have like a smaller show and you're an artist,
yes,
you just see this, you're not connecting with your fans.
It depends.
And I get it.
It depends on the size of the audience. Like, it is actually pretty rude in something like a more intimate setting, like the Dunkin' Donuts Iced Coffee Lounge. They're not paying us. I don't know why we're saying their name the whole time.
It's so fun.
The Dunkin' Donuts
Actually,
Iced
I would
Coffee
love
Lounge.
Dunkin' Donuts to pay me when they franchise to the West Coast. I am ready.
But there's like, generally speaking, what iHeartRadio did was they took our lunchroom, they got rid of it.
Like it's a full-blown, still looked like a cafeteria.
Yeah.
They put up a little
They put up a step and repeat, and they convinced Dunkin' Donuts that this was a performance lounge.
But behind the step and repeat was like the microwave,
Yeah.
whatever, and people would go to get their lunch and they'd be pissed off they couldn't get
Yes. And normally you'd get an email that day when an artist came in and said, hey, we need people in the Dunkin' Donuts Iced Coffee Lounge. Please come up there. And a dozen people or so would show up. In a setting like that, it is pretty rude to have your phone out the whole time.
And no one was really doing that, I don't think.
You know what? He probably was just having a bad day.
Which is
If we see him.
Which is a Stephen Jenkins day.
But what if we see him
From everything else.
and he's super nice backstage at the Yellow Card
I'm
show?
going to say I interviewed you and you lost your shit. I've been
You
telling
should.
that story for 10 years.
You should. And see what he says. Maybe he yells at you. Maybe he doesn't.
Do, 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 do. You think they're going to do it?
Do I think they're going to do their most famous song? Yes.
We did have DJ Synth. We did have an iced coffee machine, a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee machine there.
Yeah, it like never worked. It was kind of like the softy
McDonald's.
machine, or the ice cream machine at McDonald's, but it was there. And then there was also a Keurig right next to it.
Yeah. I've been thinking about trying some coffee again and seeing if it fucks me up.
Go for it. Let's see.
I love that song and I don't even know all the lyrics.
Let's see.
It's like
Oh, I
one of
want to
my
go
favorites.
to When We Were Young so bad. Maybe next year because I
Yeah.
need to see My Chemical Romance.
Unpopular opinion. I don't know if they changed it this year. I did not love the When We Were Young festival.
What are you talking?
I didn't
It was
love
cold.
the layout. And I do know that there were a lot of complaints about that, and they did change it a bit this last year. But I got some feedback from a friend who went who said like something.
Some people in the know.
Who said similar. Like it was just, it's like set up weird.
It was set up, it's an outdoor festival, so it was set up kind of like an old school Warped Tour, where you're going from stage to stage. There were 2 problems with When We Were Young festival. None of it had to do with the artists. The
No,
artists
the artists
actually
are great.
all put on and I was concerned because when you have a lot of nostalgic acts like that, sometimes some of them aren't prepared, right? Like you get this weird juxtaposition of the artists who have been taking it very seriously and take that performance seriously, and then the ones who are just like, oh, I'm here for a paycheck.
Yeah.
That did not happen at When We Were Young festival.
No, it
Every
was
single
really-
artist we saw crushed it.
Yeah.
Like everything sounded perfect. The problem with the festival when we went the first year,
lines.
if you had tickets to day 1, you didn't go because there was a wind advisory and they had to shut it all down.
That was nuts.
But the line to get in took a long time. The merch line was insane.
It was
people
people
so
were just
bad.
standing in the merch line watching shows performances.
It was so bad that they ended up posting everything online to make up for the fact that the merch line was that bad. And then the bathroom situation was weird. There was a ton of them, but they were all in the same spot. Outside of that, it was actually very enjoyable.
Yeah.
The layout of the actual stages themselves were fine because you need to have a certain amount of space between the stage if they're performing simultaneously. And they did do what Warped Tour and Bamboozle used to do, where the main stage, there was 2 main stages, and they would just go back and forth, which I loved.
But isn't that where iHeart does?
No, iHeart's
Daytime Village.
It's further south on the strip.
Because to be honest, that layout is actually I think it's less stages.
Yeah, it is.
But I think that layout of the festival is great.
The iHeartRadio Daytime Village.
Sponsored by blah blah blah. And
Sponsored
blah, blah,
by
blah,
Macy's.
Dunkin' Donuts, Iced Coffee Lounge, Macy's, iHeartRadio,
And Mondelez and
M&M's and
who
Tic
else?
Tac.
Hey, don't poo-poo on Tic Tac.
We got to do a stage announcement.
Yeah,
That was
I think
cool.
they may have even paid us
I
a
don't
little
think
bit.
they paid us any bit.
Anyway, that was one stage. There were a lot of activations, but there was only one main stage. Which
Really?
Yeah. So the footprint of
I
that
think there
area
was
is much
another
smaller.
Little baby one.
But with When We Were Young Festival, there's 6 stages
Yeah.
because they're
But-
putting on 40 acts in one day.
Nara brings up a good point. That's at least twice of the year we went to When We Were Young, and then just recently, concerts and festivals in that same area keep getting canceled because the wind has been so bad that it's going to get to a point where it's not like you're looking at, oh, it's rainy season and we're not going to do a festival in Seattle. It's Vegas, and it's been getting wild with the wind. Like, it's so dangerous.
Yeah, I think the Lovers and Friends Festival, I believe, still had to be canceled for a day or
and
pushed
it's going to
back.
be hard to sell tickets to that because it's not just that it's in your city and I'll buy tickets, and if I don't go, I don't go. That's a destination city. People are buying tickets and flying it.
Yeah, like my brother and his fiance were there for the Saturday show, missed it because it got canceled year 1, and then just flew back home. Yeah. We got super lucky because the person who we were going to go with on day 1 worked for Live Nation. She couldn't go day 2, so she gave us her tickets.
Yeah.
That would have been her working passes, essentially. So we got super, super lucky. Ricky got the luckiest. Ricky bought tickets originally, and they weren't cheap tickets.
For day 2.
For day 1 with us. Or no, day 2, you're right. And she couldn't get anyone to buy them.
They were like,
She couldn't couldn't offload them, so she just had these tickets she was going to lose like $200 or whatever on.
and up until the day before, they were on StubHub, I think for below face value at one point.
And then the second day 1 got canceled, obviously everyone went on StubHub to buy day 2 tickets.
But she raised it not like crazy. She
Yeah,
only
she
raised it
didn't-
to like a little over face value, if anything.
I think she made $100, where people were trying to sell their
People
tickets
were
for like
making-
$2,000.
Yeah.
So she got super lucky where she was going to take a, $200 or $300 loss. Instead, ended up making about $100, which is awesome. But this year, there was a chance I was going to try to go to When We Were Young Festival. It would have been very difficult.
Oh, this October?
It's this October. My brother gets married. It's the second of the 2 October weddings I have with my family, where I'm in both weddings. I'm in my cousin George's wedding as a groomsman, and my brother's wedding as a maid of honor. Best man. He gets married on a Friday. I'd be flying back to Seattle or to the West Coast the next day anyway.
Or Sunday.
There's a chance I might see if I can get a ticket to When We Were Young Festival because it's that same weekend. Maybe the Sunday show.
I can't.
And we'll see what happens. Because what is cool about this year is I believe there's a whole half of the lineup is doing full albums.
Oh, that's right.
So, like, I believe My Chemical Romance might be doing all of 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge straight through. I think Fall Out Boy is also there this year,
Yeah.
but we'll see. It would be a fun show to see because
Which album is Fall Out Boy doing? Is he going to do Fully Ado? Because
But-
then I'm not going.
So not every artist is doing a full album.
No.
So Fall Out Boy might do, the hits, if you will, or whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah, I probably won't be doing that. I still don't know what my life is going to be like for that month because there's some Seahawks games in between these weddings and it's throwing me off.
But the moral of the story, honestly, is if you're going to go see The Who, go to setlist.fm.
I don't even, it's
Fuck
not
the
the
man.
Who. It's just him, I think.
How many of the Who are still alive?
The Who? Who is in the Who? Who is alive? Well, I'll just look at that.
Are they all still alive? I'm not going to pretend to be a big Who fan.
I can't think of one Who song off the top of my head, though. I know it.
Baba O'Reilly?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It should just say their names if they're alive.
Cheese said, not Keith Moon. I guess he's not with us anymore. Couldn't even tell you who Keith Moon was, other than I guess he was in.
Oh, well, the
band.
current members of the band are only 2 people, so I guess the rest are no longer.
Oh, he was the drummer, and he OD'd in the 70s.
Mm.
But apparently he was a drummer god. All right, Carla Marie, we've gone through everything on the list. It is now 8:19. Don't forget, we do have a guest with us on Thursday, so it would help if all of you were here so that, you know, especially because he knows about live streaming. We don't want to embarrass ourselves
True.
with another live streaming guest.
And if you're a T-Mobile customer, I just got an alert for T-Mobile Tuesday. It's when you get freebies on their app.
What do we got?
You can get a free T-Mobile aluminum tumbler, and it changes colors.
Let me see that.
For free.
For freezies?
Yeah, do I got to pay for shipping?
We don't need another tumbler. I love T-Mobile, and they're not paying for this, but the T-Mobile app is pretty cool. You can get a decent amount of free food on a weekly basis.
30% off Adidas.com.
Bang! Booyashaka.
Okay, you're weird.
What else? There's usually travel deals, too. What do we got on here? 20% off per gallon. 20% off per gallon with complimentary gold status at Shell.
Well, Shell's also $7 a gallon, so I'm not going there.
Little Caesars, free crazy combo with a pizza purchase. Psh, hell yeah.
Crazy combo?
Yeah, the crazy combo, I guess you get breadsticks or something with your pizza.
Sorry about
You can get
Who's eating?
10 free prints at Walgreens. Photos. That's pretty cool.
Let me look.
You click, we donate for
That's
Pride
cool.
Month.
That's cool.
Well, there's a lot of stuff here. Hertz, Dollar Rental, Def Leppard and Journey. Exclusive access to the tour.
Don't look up the set list.
All right. On behalf of T-Mobile and us, thank you for hanging out with us. Maybe T-Mobile will pay us for that one day. Enjoy your day. Thank you for hanging. We'll see you on Thursday. What?
Your voice is going.
Yeah, a little bit.